There's a couple things I'm noticing about this Build in Public podcast and this learning soul growth journey that I'm on is that every day I get a little bit more clarity. Every day I become a little bit more confident to show up fully me in these new spaces and places where I am interacting with others. And there's so much goodness to update since I last shared 4 days ago, which was last Friday. I did not do a podcast update yesterday because my brain was so tired that when I got home from taking the dog to agility training, I literally fell asleep at about 8:30. I didn't set an alarm and I slept until about 7 a.m. And the reason I was so tired was because I am stretching myself in such dynamic new ways that it is causing me to tap into new energy sources, new ways of using my brain, and new um, chemical reactions, I feel like, are kind of forming in my body. And so I'm going to talk a little bit today about um, my brain and when we actually start to build new neural pathways, what it feels like, and the amount of energy that takes. And I'm not coming at this from a scientific perspective or a research perspective. I am coming at this from the little bit that I understand about neural pathways, how they're formed, how they're made, and what happens when we start to apply pressure and change and discomfort to those new neural pathways. And we start to grow and change and notice the growth and change. And so last week, I had a Monday morning meeting scheduled for yesterday for Monday morning at 8:30. And last Friday and all through the weekend, I spent a great amount of time envisioning this meeting. Not so much the meeting in and of itself, because I had this really big idea around the meeting, but and the outcomes I was hoping for with this person. And I recognized that I have a great ability to make a plan and execute on that plan and typically get the expected outcome that I want. I have a brain that understands planning, execution, and expected outcome. And in my past career as an educator, I could predict within a certain amount of accuracy the expected outcome. And that's a really good thing, but it's also a really dangerous thing for an entrepreneur. Because as an entrepreneur, you cannot control people and outcomes. And so, as I am learning to create conversations, and because really I believe the work is around conversations, um, the conversations provide insights to the plan that I have for building these businesses that I'm working on, the growth path in education and in schools, and soul growth with women and leaders and connecting to themselves. And so these two businesses, while I have plans, I have every day I gain a little bit more clarity and insight. And so a conversation, like for example, I'm looking at my calendar right now, a conversation, a meeting I have scheduled on Friday, I'm going to have new information and new insights for that meeting by the time we meet. Of course, I have a plan for that meeting. Of course, I have ways of being, but until I actually get on the call and see what it feels like and see who I am and who this other person is on the call, somebody I haven't met before, I don't know where our areas of connection, synergy, creativity will occur. And not planning for that is new for me. Not anticipating 85 chess moves of what might happen is actually creating new open neural pathways for me. Allowing a plan to unfold as and adjust that plan as I go is very new for me. Um, One of the things for me that has been really hard has been when I make a plan and things don't go according to the plan and having to adjust the plan or things aren't perfect, perfectionism thinking. And so yesterday I had this conversation planned, scheduled, and I kind of knew what I wanted from the conversation or what I had hoped for. And I really had to do this deep inner work on how do I show up to this conversation and say what I'm thinking without trying to manipulate something to an outcome that I'm hoping for. And in the call, I was kind of awkward. I was having a lot of anxiety before the call. I actually, in talking to my husband, Tim Gonzalez, about this before I got on the call that morning, I was having a lot of anxiety and I actually cried and I'm processing through because I could feel, at least what it felt like to me, my neural pathways changing, me embracing this new version of me in this um, first conversation. And then yesterday, all day, my conversations opened up and I allowed them to continually open up before me. But it took a lot of energy for me. And so I'm learning how to structure my day, my time, my energy so that it serves me and it serves me and the areas that I want to focus on. I don't have it perfected yet. It will never be perfect, frankly, but I am closer to my everyday being the ideal day that I believe I deserve, that I believe will serve me and allow me to best serve others. And it's a work in progress. And friends, that is what I am truly building in public. Thanks for listening. And this is Stacey Gonzales on today's Build in Public podcast.